straight up. We all out here trying to figure it out. And that come with each day, though.
Shit, if I could go back, bro, I wouldn't even get no tattoos at all.
For real.
For
Mm.
real. All that shit doing is damaging your skin anyway.
I don't got none. I don't got none, but I always figured I might have to do things to protect myself or might have to do some things to come up from the situations we was in. So I just be like, I don't want to get no tattoos that'll put me in a predicament where, I'm easily identified.
Exactly.
That's just, me being around, people I got some family from DC, and I'll never forget the summer I went out there. I heard a few conversations, and that's some of the shit that I gathered, like, okay, probably don't need no tattoos, you know, unless I'm already, infused in a situation that it don't matter, you know what I'm saying? But now, at this point in my life, I could get whatever, but as far as like what you referring to, like, I don't get them because first of all, I done got this far without it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't really, that whole ink thing and how it's not all that good for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, hell no, as much as I love art, I'm very artistic, you feel me? So I love art, but it's like, dang, bro. And it ain't, don't get me wrong, I still be wanting to, but I understand why not. So it's like, you'll be a fool, you know what I'm saying, and suffer a fool's death if you go against what you know you ain't supposed to be doing.
Right.
Like, that'd be the good about, like you said, coming up in an environment where that knowledge is for me, like everybody on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when I watch some of the footage people in New York, like back in the day, as well as, some of it now, you had people like, they used to be like, man, we couldn't even go outside unless we knew the science for the day or the math for the day, you feel me? I'm like, what? What's the science for the day? What's the math for the day? You're like, you know what I'm saying? For somebody that didn't grow up in that environment, you're like, what the fuck? I would have never made it outside.
Look,
You know what
man,
I'm saying?
that's the only shit that makes sense, though. When
Yeah.
they say the math, they saying a lot. Like, they talking about sacred geometry.
Yeah.
For real, though.
Yeah.
'Cause look, your name is your name.
Mhm.
Names could be changed.
Right.
But the day you were born, like, day,
Mhm.
you not change the day you were born. You know what I
You
mean?
feel me? That's that energy you come with. That energy that you come with. And I'm starting to feel like with a lot of this, mass hysteria that's being
That
caused,
shit is fake.
you feel me? Like, I wouldn't say it's all the way fake, but I would say they telling you to look this way, and this is going on right here in your face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you starting to see the people that's easy to conform. You know what I'm saying? They want to see who will conform, for one. For
Yeah,
two,
they're trying to see who they can control.
yeah, for two, they basically marking the people who got the abilities to come online.
Right.
So here it is, you checking people's temperature. Why? Because once you reach a certain, man, come on.
It's funny though, when you stop, you see it. Like the people I would talk to, my friends. Then when I stop believing in this shit, like I don't care about that shit no more. Then all of a sudden they coming out and they showing me shit like I showed them at first.
Right.
And
Like,
it's like, oh shit, okay, so the return of energy is coming back now.
you hear me? The best ride for you. This is the best ride I done had. Cause, like I said, even I know and I take a ride from them, I'm like, bro, we don't, like, this is how I put it. A lot of these so-called religious texts, it's like this. Proof can be found anywhere. Literally be talking to a cousin that you have no idea about. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all just started talking not too long ago or whatever. Might be a cousin that's distant, whatever. And you go through that phone, don't give her a chance once you see whatever you feel like is a trigger for you. And triggers are something from your childhood that a lot of times you can't pinpoint and say, oh, I don't like this because of this. You just say it's a pet peeve. You know what I'm saying? Or you write it off to this is just how I am. But you should never be so rigid to be just like this is just how I am. I hope the person that I am today is contradicted by the person I become tomorrow. Like, you gotta constantly be growing. Nothing stays the same.
Facts, you evolve. Let me ask you a question though. Since you brought up the 33 degrees, what do you think of the Freemasons?
I think these were people that was in tune with some of this information that we're talking about, and maybe lesser versions of this. But in their time, just like right now, if you start talking about it in front of certain people, it's uncouth because it's like you're talking over their heads. And to talk over somebody's head is to like talk.
That's true. I never looked at it that way. Like when I was younger, I looked at it as I'm trying to enlighten you.
Yeah, yeah,
Share
yeah.
knowledge is gonna come back.
But you got to meet them where they at. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like you see Waka Flocka, as he's done retired, you see he clearly not, as savage or as wild as he portrayed himself. But he was trying to reach a certain audience to get them to come online. So now that they love him, whatever he does, they gonna pay attention to. Now he got a farm, he's taking care of himself, you know what I'm saying? So now you got a group of people that would have never paid that shit no attention, that's in tune with it now just because who he was.
So had the Masons ever offered you to come join them?
Mm-mm. I had a brother who was a Mason, and he, when he passed away, man, or I would say transcended, because I still feel his energy a lot of times. When he transcended, he basically, like, they couldn't determine what his cause of death was. Like, it's like he just ejected from the body. You know what I'm saying? And we used to always volley back and forth certain conversations. Like, when I first met him, I was more in tune with the spiritual, or saying we got to handle it from the spiritual side. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they was right about us dealing with the spirit, but the route they was leading us was dim in our light. You know what I'm saying? But we got an energy within us that's unseen, that can surpass even before you get there. It's like it precedes you. You feel me? And if you intentionalize that shit, bro, you can make this world shape and go either way you want it to go.
So let me ask you be having some crazy dreams?
Oh yes. But a lot of times they play out, and even I say this, I go as far as to say, when I don't remember it, plays out even quicker. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like my day be my dream.
Yeah, that's crazy, man, because I be smoking weed just so I can't remember my dreams.
Man. And they lie with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but if you believe it, you won't be able to remember it. You know what I'm saying? Or you won't be able to internalize and suggest that, hold on, or surmise. Because the surmise means, based on the understanding of the realm that we in this existence, I can say this comes after this. So if this is what happens when I'm dreaming, then
When we die.
you feel me? And when I'm awake. This is all a practice while I'm awake. This is the lucid dream.
Well, you know about the dimensions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're 3D creatures, but you know what the trippiest thing about it is? That we're 3D creatures, but we can only see in 2D.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's funny because
That's crazy.
hold up. So we can only see in 2D.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we think we can see in 3D is because our brain, it plays a trick on us. It's like a stimulation, like mirrors, it makes it out that focus for it to make sense, right?
Oh yeah.
Now here's the thing, right? If we're 3D, we're three-dimensionally, we can only see 2D, right?
Right.
So then, like, what happens when you're like dreaming? Are you now seeing 4D? Because like I don't know if you ever been aware in your dream, but you could see inside of people.
Yes.
You feel like
when you try to look at their face, it's like, hold on, that is not a face. I feel you.
Yeah, like you see colors.
Yeah.
Like,
and you get a feeling that lets you know it's a certain person.
yeah.
So it lets you know, like, this got to be also too. Look, just as we talking about dimensions or this existence, like I feel like all of these dimensions exist right now, but if you don't have the intelligence to or had the opportunity to interact with it, because some people, this is they grew up with no lights, you know what I'm saying? So all they knew was like for some people they think being in poverty is the worst thing that can fucking happen. But if you in tune with the spirits and you have ancestral energy around you, man, bro, that guidance is so much clearer when you don't have as many distractions.
Right.
Because you don't have that much shit.
When
you know what I'm saying?
When you're rich, you're distracted.
Yeah, you got so much stuff to try to maintain and protect, and
a rich person is so much least likely to evolve than somebody in poverty. Because now when you're in poverty, you see things from different perspectives.
Yeah. You see people with and you see people without.
Yeah. And when you're rich, you just see things from what you've seen in your life. But like you said, in poverty, growing up in New York, shit, I almost got shot a few times. When I was 13, the first time I was in the crossfire.
And them near-death experiences really show you the spiritual realm. Because when that shit slow down, bruh, you like, hold on. Nobody told me about this. And nobody else can see it in that moment. You feel me? You're in, bruh.
Have you ever took, like, psychedelics?
Yeah.
That shit.
Shit. Matter of fact, we should, man, this experience was for a reason. You feel me? Like, we definitely got to get together on that. Cause I did it once, and the experience that I had, bruh, like my whole left side opened up. Like I'm normally a right-handed person, but at this point in my life, I'm becoming ambidextrous.
Oh, me too.
You feel
I'm
me?
purposely using my left hand
Yes.
more than my right.
Come on,
hand
see?
to catch it up.
See?
Man, that's crazy. Cause you know your right, like one arm is usually bigger than the other.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
And that shit get on my nerves, cause I be working out and I be flexing like, man, what the fuck? Hold on, bro. This shit don't look right.
I be looking at the dimensions like, nah, this. I'm like, nah, this gotta be even out.
Gotta get that symmetry right.
Yeah, so I started like, fuck my right arm. My left arm is my dominant arm.
You feel me? And then through that, you see the transforming of your mind, and you realize, bro, if I can do this with my mind, who has been one of my biggest supporters and my worst enemies at the same time, if I can intentionalize this motherfucker, I can convince anybody, because guess what? Everybody else got a mind too. Like, come the fuck on. But everybody else don't know how to work their mind. Right. So they're getting the winged version of themselves. Like, they feel like they just living aimlessly, winging it. But somebody else is over here thinking. So as sure as they over here thinking, you're falling in line with their thinking process. You feel me? Yeah. And that's why you don't feel fulfilled in doing certain shit, because it's like, that's not what I thought to do. You feel me? First is a thought, or it can be interchangeable. But so let's say it started off. You can go straight though. All right. Yeah, you can go straight. First, let's say if it starts off as a thought, the premonition or the ideas come to you as a thought, then it become happy about the idea, like, all right, I believe in this idea, or you start distrusting yourself like you don't deserve the shit. But let's just say you push through and feel like you deserve it, right? Now that feeling becomes a vibration. Once it becomes a vibration, you know, like how it came into being. You feel me? You just manifested that shit.
Bro.
You feel me?
Manifestation.
Bro, I've been studying that shit, trying to internalize that shit.
Thought comes first.
Yeah.
That's the first step to.
But I feel like you can interchange it. Peep this though. It can be a feeling, right? Let's say, like we was talking about being in poverty, right?
Right.
You feel like, man, it gotta be something other than this. Like, you've never seen it. But it's like, I got a feeling, bro. Like that's what it was for me. Like, I like, life gotta be more than this. Like, I just feel like this ain't it.
That's how I felt too.
And I'm a Gemini Cancer, so I'm thinking and feeling at the same time. Like, I oscillate.
Oh, you're doing the new ones? How they mix them together?
Yeah, I'm a Cuspian.
So I'm a Scorpio Sag.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really not new. Like if you think about it, I'm born June 21st, first day of summer. If you pay attention to anybody's little calendars, like if you pick up different ones, just going through the store when you was young, just going through shit just to. you said.
Handles, my number. Nobody out here. Since I moved a year ago from New York,
you said you wild. You said take my social, take my handle, take my. Right, look, tell her we ain't worried about they system. Look, we cool. Cause once you in tune with you realize you don't even need that shit, bruh. You don't need nothing. You can restart from anywhere. That's why I was talking about the poverty shit. Like, once you get out of feeling so bad about being in poverty, you find the different ways. I'm on this left side over here. Yeah.
Is this a one-way?
Yeah, it's a one-way. That's why I took you that other way.
So I could just.
Yeah, you can go straight down that way.
Right here?
Yeah, cool.
All right, man.